Hmm. It has been a long time, everybody. Hello, and how are you? I don't know if we're going to get any viewers tonight, so yeah. I think it's time we played a little bit of catch up. It has been a long time, everybody. Hello, and how are you? Pausing that so it doesn't give me any feedback. Yeah, that's the hello, everybody. How are you? For those I haven't seen in a while, nice to see you again. Sorry for the long wait between shows. Life got away from me. I know a lot of guys have been bitching and moaning that I haven't done a show in a hell of a long period of time, so I thought let's jump in the deep end, have a quick short show, but I'm definitely going to get back to doing it every week. I don't have much to say tonight. A couple of new things that have arrived, so we can maybe go through those. I don't even know if anybody's even watching. I think there's a couple of people joining now. For some reason, YouTube has changed the way the creator studio works. I think I'm going to have to find a different way to stream because I can't actually see if anybody's watching. There's Donovan. How's it, Donovan? How are you? For some reason, they've changed the way that you actually look at your YouTube channel. So I have no idea if actually anybody's watching. Six people are watching now. Anyway, hello, how are you? Oh, it seems like I've spoken too much already. I don't have a lot of things to show. We've had a couple of new items arrive in the shop. I think it's just going to be a little short one and show you what I've got. Maybe run a little competition. But as the week's gone, we'll get into more in depth and get back to the way we used to do it. How was everybody's Christmas and New Year? Let me just close this down because I don't think like this is going to work at all. Because yeah, for some reason these settings are changing. I'll just close that down. Sorry, I'm just opening and closing stuff so we can see what's going on. And that's live now. Yes, yes. I see 7 people are watching and closing stuff so they can see what's going on. That. There you are. Now I can see some analytics. So what have I got to show you? Let me first put it this way. Thank you very much for everybody who did keep us in business last year, for that ordered, etc. Chat a bit soft. Let me just turn the volume up to see. Hold on. Advanced audio properties. Main mark. Let's see if this is better. Is that better now, everybody? Can you hear me now? Is that better? I haven't used it in such a long time. I think some of the settings were a little bit rusty, but let's just check if that's better. Is that better, Donovan? Cool beans. Siraj says it's better, so yeah, hopefully it's better. Yeah, it was a funny year last year. Tad more. Okay, let's turn this mark up a tad more. Properties. No, I don't need that there. I need this. Advanced properties. Let's make it 400. And close. Is that better now, Donovan? The Grandmaster Vapes. Compliments to you too, sir. I turbo boosted it, Donovan. Is that okay? Yes, it takes you a long time to type, Donovan. Much better. Okay, cool beans. Yeah, as I said, last year was a funny year in the vaping game. Saw a lot of people open shops and there was a lot of people close shops as well. So I think this year is going to be also one of those up and down years. So yeah. Also, I think vaping is slowly it's splitting into 2 separate types of setups, which is evident by what's happening in the marketplace. Lots of these mouth to lung stuff coming. I was just saying, as I've got this is a new one that we've got. It's called an artery. It's a little mouth to lung pod system. Geek Vape has released their Flint kit. We've obviously got the Orion, and then the New Lost Vape Quest, which is new to the scene, which is a cheaper version of the original DNA Orion. You know, that's just in, well, okay, the Orion's been around for a little period of time, but you know, that's just, those are 3 devices that have arrived in a matter of a week. So, but then also the mechanical mods are coming back into fashion now. I see a lot of, if you see a lot of the stuff that's being advertised, mechanical mods. So I think what actually might happen this year is that you're going to have, as we call the twispers, you're going to have a mouth to lung, totally a mouth to lung type of customer, and a totally off the charts, in your face, cloud blowing machine people. Not very much in between. But let me get through to what has arrived. Let's start off with this Powell. Actually, not a little bad device, and as I said, there's a place for everything. I'm not a big Nick Salts person. Sorry, they got a bit of juice on this. I'm not a big Nick Salt person. For me, Nick Salts just gives me a bit of a headache. I just don't enjoy Nick Salts. Although there's definitely a lot of people using it. And this, because of the amount of vapor this produces, and it's a little pod system. You can see there, this little piece pops out. And there's your pod. That just, you fill it up on the front here, over there. What I've got in here is I've got a 12 milligram juice in this. And that just, doing it back to front. That just pops in there. USB charge, no computer panel or anything. Go the wrong way. And it's yeah, it produces a hell of a lot of vapor for a pod system. Just check. You can mouth to lung it and you can direct lung it. I do like this ergonomic drip tip. As I said, you can mouth to lung it. I'm using a really high nicotine. I think this is 12 milligram I've got in here. USB charge, 5 click on, 5 click off, in your pocket, running to the shops type of device. That's new to the South African market. Really impressed. For free-base nicotine, if you don't like Nick Salts, for free-base nicotine with the restrictive, let me rephrase that. Free-base nicotine with a restrictive direct lung, or a fairly open mouth to lung, absolutely epic little device. I know there's a couple of vape shops that are selling them. I think Vape Cartel's got them. I know obviously we've got them, and a couple of other ones. But yeah, pleasantly surprised with this. And I'm on tank number 4 or 5 on this. So and the coil's still performing, and the flavor's not bad at all. Very nice, very nice. So that's the artery. It comes, that's the box it comes in. Okay, in the box, well, let's see if it says it on the outside. Okay, no, it doesn't say there. Sorry, I'm just doing things at lib today. In the box, it comes with a spare coil. I'm just trying to see what the ohmage on this coil is. Can't see what the ohmage on this coil, but let's look in the box. Yeah, 1 PAL 2 kit, 1 extra coil, 1 USB cable, a user manual. As I said, there's no, it doesn't, I can't see. Wait, let's maybe look on the website, that's going to be easier. What has it got there? There you are. No man, that's not it. Yo, you can see I haven't done this for a while. I'm trying to find things and I can't find them. They were Artery 2 PAL kit. Okay, they, for anybody who doesn't know, they're $510. What does it come with? It comes with the device, a 0.60 mesh coil. I've got a 0.60 mesh coil in here, and it comes with a 1.20 mouth to lung coil. It comes with an extra silicone plug to plug the juice hole up, micro USB cable, warranty card and instruction manual. I know it does come in 4 colors. We've currently only got, we've got them all, red, black, purple and brush metal. Oh, sorry, brush metal sold out, but they're $510. It's a Tony B product, which is, you know, it's good. They've got some good products. The Archery, funny enough, are actually making some really nice products. Oh, man. Everything back in the right way. So obviously you've got the mount to lung coil, which you could use Nick salts on. As I said, I'm not really a big lover of Nick salts, although I do use them. But with the really high nicotine in here, as going out and about to dinner, or even you could take a stealth vape on a plane. Yeah, you could get, sorry, my puppy's going to be making noise out the back there. Yeah, you could get away with it on the plane. Flavor's really good off the coils. Hey! Hey! Flavor's really good off in the coils. Coil seems to last fairly long. Yeah, so if you're in the market for, say, a restrictive lung hit pod device for high freebase nicotine, it's probably up your alley. That's that one. Then the next one that arrived was from Geek Vape, which is the Flint kit. I have to say this is a really little cute device. That's the size of the device. So if you can compare that to a 60ml bottle of juice, you can see this thing is baby. It's tiny, 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 tiny. It's 1,100 milliamp. Yeah, I think it's 1,100 milliamp battery. It's only can only fire at 1 ohm or higher, so it's definitely for your Nick salts. It has got a adjustment ring on the around it here for the restrictiveness. You cannot lung hit this at all. Far too restricted. I have to say the coils that are on this though, on the I think it's a 1.2 ohm coil, I stand to be corrected. There is really good flavour with this. So if you've got some really nice flavoured Nick salts, be right up your alley. I did try and put a different RDA on this. I've got the old GR1 RDA, which is the small little baby one on there. But you've got to fire 1 ohm or higher. I'll show you what it looks like if I can remember where I put it. Where did I put it? I can't find it right now. But it has this, you can just check how sexy this looks as an aftermarket. You can put any little RDA on top of that. It's really cute. I love these small little compact battery units. I'm thinking of getting the little baby Hellfire that takes the 18500 battery. Just thinking of getting myself one of those. So yeah, it's got a 5 hole setting. The smallest hole looks like 0.5 millimeter, probably 3/4 of a millimeter. And the biggest one's probably about 1.5 millimeter in diameter, and really restrictive. The nice little bonus with this, it does have 3 different power settings, and you just really click 1, 2, 3. And the first setting, I switched it off. The first setting is like a purplish color. Then a bluish color, then a greenish color, which is the maximum. It's maximum 4.2 volts that it will obviously let out depending on which coil you've got in, because there's two coils that it comes with. So yeah, there's a little Nick salt device hard in your palm of your hand. Yeah, and a really good product. So that's for the Flint kit from Geek Vape. And if I check on the website here, let's see how much they cost. Now to find them. Typical when you're looking for something you can't find it. tell you what the coils cost. They're 530 Rand, and the replacement coils that you can get for them are 50 bucks each, and there's the 1.2 ohm coil that we've currently got in stock. So that's a nice little Nick Salt device that was arrived. So that's that out there. Obviously, everybody knows the Lost Vape Orion, which is the DNA device, okay, which hit the scenes with a removable pod system. There, and people have been raving about these, but obviously it's quite an expensive the DNA. It's quite an expensive mouth to lung device. So what Orion, Lost Vape did is they saw a gap in the market to bring out a more affordable type of device. Obviously, this has got, those who know the Orion, it's got 3 different power settings. Okay, it's very similar to the Flint, so it's medium, weak, medium, and hard. And then you've also got the replay function, and obviously you can hook it up to eScribe and stuff like that. USB charged from the bottom, PowerPoint, yeah, and fires, the Orion fires down to as low as 0.25 ohms, and then there's a 0.5 ohm coil as well. So what they did is Lost Vape obviously saw there was a gap in the market, and then the product was taken off so well, they bought out the Lost Vape Quest. Okay, obviously quite a lot cheaper device. Okay, I'll show you. I haven't got a pod in it. So if you take the pod off, you can see identical in size and height. Okay, noticeable things is really down the bottom here. On the Quest, the USB port is visible, and there's no you aren't able to change the power settings. There's one power setting. Okay, where on the DNA you've got the USB port at the bottom, and then above it you've got the 3 power settings. Otherwise everything is exactly the same. Obviously on the Quest you can't plug it into into eScribe, or you can't plug it into, you can USB charge it, but that's about it. The nice thing that with it though is that it's also got a 1 ohm coil, which is compatible with the original DNA version. So there's now a 1 ohm coil available. So for those people wanting to use Nick Salts, there's the 1 ohm coil. The only downfall is the original Orion can fire to low as 0.25. The new one can only fire down to as low as 0.5. So you are limited to 2 coils here, and on this one you've now got three options of coils. Yeah, so yeah, that's the Quest. I think the Quest is going for, memory serves me correctly, the Quest is now going for like 680 bucks. So that's like almost, what is it? That's like just over a third of what these DNA versions were going for. So if you're in the market for something that looks like the original Orion, you've got now Lost Vape has got the oopsie, putting it on the wrong one. Lost Vape has now got a cheaper alternative for you. It does everything else. It does everything the other one can do except plug it into eScribe and change the power settings. It's time for me to have a proper vape. So let's see who's here. I said how's it to Donovan already. Siraj, hello. Regan, that name doesn't ring a bell. I don't remember seeing you before. Vico, yeah, I remember him because of that surname. And Musong, how's it, my boy? The Grandmaster Vapes, Sean and Brandon, he's always here. How's it, guys? Happy New Year and all that jazz. So, who's got some questions? As I said, the first couple of shows is going to take me a little getting back into used to doing these things, because I didn't really like it. But yeah, I just got to get used to talking in front of a camera again. I'm not used to it at the moment. Vico, does the Orion fire on the 1 ohm coil? Yes, the Orion can fire. The DNA version can fire the 1 ohm coil as well. Okay, the DNA can fire all 3 coils that are available now from Lost Vape. The Quest, which is the new one, the cheaper version, can only fire the 0.5 and the 1 ohm coil. So that's the one where you're limited on. But most people are using this for high freebase nicotine or nic salt. So the 0.5 and 1 ohm coil is fine for this. Very few people actually use these on a 0.25 ohm coil. I know Hugo uses it, my partner, but that's the only person that I know that fires it. Nums. Yeah, nic salts is just unfortunately one of the things that I've just battled with nic salts. I tend to get these headaches with nic salts. That's why I love this little device, this PAL from Archery, because it can do free-based nicotine. It can do direct lung, or you can do a mouth to lung quite easily. And exactly, it's a cheat, because you can make it more mouth to lung. If you look on the side there, there's these 2 little airflows. You can actually block one off, so you can actually vape and block it off. And you can make it more restrictive, which is nice, but that's a cheat. You can make it super restrictive actually by doing that. And realize closing both those holes would make it as restrictive. Yeah, this I'm really super impressed with, these PALs. Really super impressed with this. I haven't had time to play with that. I only arrived today, so I haven't had time to play with that as yet, so I'll give you my opinions on that later. But this, I have had a time to play with it, and really enjoying it. Really enjoying it. How's it, Nicole? Okay, what I'm doing is I'll just obviously we've had some. I'm just going to pop my screen onto here to see what's coming new. So that's what's arrived new in the shop. Bubblegum Blow. I must say, this is one amazing mixer. He does mix some other juices for us as well, but he's got this Thrifty Clouds, and these bubblegum juices are really good. I see some salts have arrived. Loaded cran apple salts have arrived. A whole range has arrived. Loaded strawberry and glazed donuts. Emissary elixirs. I have not had a chance to try these 2 juices, but they're really good. There's pure PPL and pure PKG. You can obviously see that the Lost Vape Orion pods have arrived. The 1 ohm pods, those are used. The Twist Q. We've got these, the new mango and ice, jumping on the bandwagon of Malaysian style juices. Cran apples back in stock. And then here's over here these let me just, you can see there, these are the colors that it comes in, which we've got. Yeah, nice. What else has come in stock? Oh yeah, that's also another one I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. Is the Neward system. That's also a pod system that's arrived from Smock. Hugo's busy testing one at the moment. I should maybe get him to do a live feed on that. What I can tell you is these Johnny Cream Puff juices, really tasty, really tasty. I'm currently using this strawberry Johnny Cream Puffs, and I'm really enjoying it. Also, these 2 juices, these strawberry jam cookie and blueberry jam cookie, I'm almost positive that this is a Jam Monster split off, because the blueberry jam and the strawberry jam in these juices taste exactly like the what do you call it, Jam Monster juices. What else has arrived? Yeah, everything else is pretty much, that's a bit older stock. Yeah, that's pretty much older stock. Let me just get rid of this. Yeah, so those are the new stuff that has arrived in the shop this week, which I'll go through. I haven't even had a chance to use it, and then obviously in the next shows what I'll do is I'll spend more time on gear and stuff like that. Do an unboxing on that now then. Yeah, I don't have any juice to fit in that. I actually don't have a spare coil to fit in that, funny enough, but I will do one, that's not a problem. Best 2700 for a mech. Mooch tested the 5-leg R-Joy gainer, is now rated at 20 amp by him. Best 2700. I'm still a person who uses 18650s. I have to say though, is that I've got a 21700, which I use, and I've been using the Galicies, but funny enough, lately I'm not, I don't know if that's because I'm getting old or what, is I'm using like 0.4 ohm or 0.5 ohm coils in these little squonkers of mine, you know, these little RDAs. It's like a 0.4 ohm or a 0.5 ohm, so there's no real concern about, you know, is the battery going to blow up. So I've lost a bit of, I must actually get his latest battery report, but in the devices that take a 21700, I'm using the Galicies, and I haven't had a problem with it. Yeah, that, or I'm using a 18650, and I'm using the Sony VTCs 5As, the batteries that I've been using there. Yeah, I'd have to go and check, but I know that 5-leg iJoy is a really good battery. You must remember 20 amps is 20 amps total continuous discharge. So if you've got a lowish build and you pulse firing it, not hitting it and taking like a 10-15 second draw, you can go a little bit lower than what they say you can go. I think Vico, a lot of guys are the jury on, although everybody's making it, and so are we in the juices that we manufacture, everybody is always still a little bit nervous with Nick salts. You know, the moral and ethical problem that I have with Nick salts is not the fact that it was the person who buys it and uses it in the device. It's the person who buys a 50 gram or a 35 milligram Nick salt and leaves it lying around, and then a child gets hold of it. That is my biggest concern with Nick salts. Not the fact is that an adult who should know better is using a really high nicotine. It's my concern is with those high Nick salts that a child gets hold of it and ends up in hospital, because that's only going to do bad for the industry. So that's more of a concern than anything else. You know, I don't see why people need 50 milligram nicotine. You know, there's no cigarette, as far as I know, that gives you 50 milligrams. So I don't know why you would need that from a vape. You can't have that much of a nicotine addiction to require that. But yeah, everybody is to their own. So releasing higher nicotine freebase, it's really for devices like these that don't have a hell of a lot of oomph, but people want to use it to be discreet. And even the Flint, this can also handle freebase. The coils can handle freebase and high VG based juices. So, you know, this will also be able to operate on those, but obviously this is more restrictive. So yeah, that's the reason why I think a lot of guys are going there, because they might, the 3 milligram or 6 milligram does not necessarily suffice in, for example, a device like that compared to a device like that, just purely because of the vapor production out of the two. So yeah, that's more than likely why most vape, a lot of the juice makers are doing small batches of higher nicotine to accommodate these type of devices. So thanks, Stefan, for the kind words. you know, the guys try in the shop. Unfortunately, we can't always get it right, but we try our hardest to get it right. You know, it's hard being in retail. For those who deal in retail, you'll know it's really, really hard to do in retail, and sometimes you've got to be the big bad wolf. But yeah, that's such as life. I'll just keep on taking it on the chin. Oh, let's get some more questions, guys. It's not going to be a long show tonight, just a little warm up. Unfortunately, I've got them broadcast. I've got them set up to be every week. Just next week, I won't be doing a show because I'm going to be in Cape Town. I'm taking my daughter down to start her studies down in Cape Town, so we're going to drive her down there. So I won't be here on that Wednesday night, but I've got it in the diary for every Wednesday at 8 o'clock. So yeah, and we'll start getting a little bit more. It's a couple of guys, international guys, who want to come on the show, so we'll do that. And it's in the diary, so I've got it booked away, so my time has already been put aside for these shows. So yeah, hopefully we can get them going. Thoughts on the Gear RTA? I'm using one there. You know, from a single coil perspective, it definitely beats the Zeus in my opinion. Just remember, guys, I own a vape shop. I've got to sell shit. You know, these opinions are my own opinions. If I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. You know, people say, well, you own a vape shop, how can you give me an honest opinion? I'll give you my opinion on it. Whether you tell you that you like it or don't like it, it's your choice. Single coil, the best single coil so far for 2018, 2019. Really easy to build. Does it look pretty? It's not a pretty looking tank at all. I do not like this big bubble glass. I think it's disgusting, the bubble glass. Some people like it. I don't like the drip tip, but does it give it good flavor? Yeah, it gives good flavor. So I'm not about aesthetics. I'm about what it can do. And really nice flavor. Off it, way better than a Zeus single coil in my opinion. Yeah, epic start to 2000 and okay, obviously we got it late 2018, but a good start, a good benchmark for 2019. Funny enough, Donovan says feels like a grater going down the throat, even in a pod. You know, this is 12 milligram, and although it's a really smooth 12 milligram, it doesn't nail me like 12 milligram used to. Doesn't charm my throat at all. Yeah, Musang 50 milligram. It's like, it's mind blowing that people actually vape 50 milligram nicotine. You know, it's like, for those, okay, maybe most of you guys are young, but you know, when I was in the army, we used to have a cigarette called an Elcano, or Gitano. Gitano was a white cigarette that was like as thick as my pinky. And let me tell you that it was the strongest cigarette I've ever had in my life. And that could have only been about 15 milligrams nicotine. And for someone to vape 50 milligram, and the problem is because of the way that to remove the harshness from it, you don't get that harshness on your throat and stuff like that. So people just, yeah, it's okay to do, but yeah, everybody to their own. My only concern, as I said earlier on, is the fact is that a child gets hold of a 50 milligram or a 35 milligram nicotine and consumes it and ends up in hospital, and the vaping industry is brought under distribute, or I don't know what the right word, under the microscope again. Yeah, they've got fused captains and tri-core fused captains in single coils. This is a dual coil in here, but it's still 0.29. I've got a tri-core fused captain in on my Hellfire, and there's a 4.2 Alien on my CLZ. Yeah, so I'm using. I'm not gone of those days of this massive. I've still got them, but that that are running things like this, my Elite, where you need to have a bomb disposable unit handy, so that just in case the bomb battery is bent. I still do that, but yeah, no, not to the extent as it was before. Vico, sneak hints of the new flavor profile for punctuation range coming end of January. If you like orange, you'll love it. There is orange in it, a really epic orange. When I first got the concentrate, there's nobody in South Africa that has this orange concentrate, and nobody will know where this orange concentrate comes from. When I first got this orange concentrate, somebody dropped it off with me that I just knew that it had to be in the punctuation series. It's got, yeah, man, it's just such a good orange. Orange, and there is other fruits. It's a traditional punctuation type juice, but if you love orange, you'll absolutely be over the moon with it. On the final production run, since I've put that into production, I think I've vaped 500 mils of it already. It's really I've actually got it in here. Really good. Stefan, I have not tried that RDA. Sorry, so I can't give you my opinion on it. We don't even stock it, so I don't think we stock it, so I couldn't tell you. Musong asked what coil I've got in there. I've got a 3.5 millimeter Alien, 7 wrap Alien in there. That's what I've got in there. I have heard a couple of guys say that they're getting better flavor for 4 millimeter ID. The only thing that I found is I did try a 4 millimeter ID in there, and it could cut down the airflow to a point, because obviously you've gone bigger and bigger. The chamber is only a specific size. Now, for those who might know or might not know, is the more air you can get to flow around your coil, the better your flavor is. And I found when I went to the 4 millimeter, it was just a little bit too restrictive, and I felt that the flavor did die off. So that's why I went back down to a 3.5 millimeter. That's why I've stuck to a 3.5 millimeter Alien 7 wraps. Really, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Lyndon, I have not tried the Hotzik G100. When I tell you that I actually have not had a chance to play with things, I really have not had a chance to play with things, and also that's a reason why I haven't been doing the shows. I have been so busy, but I did promise Hugo that I would make a conscious effort to actually do these shows and actually get the products up so that you can see them and I can give you my opinions on them. So I promise you going forward that we will have the new products arriving, and I'll give you my opinions on them as soon as we get them. Yeah, Donovan. There's only another orange juice that I actually do enjoy. Funny enough, and I've actually got it right here. Is the Element freshly squeezed? That's the only other orange that I've found that I enjoyed. So when I smelt that orange, if you've ever smelt Element orange, the semicolon is not far off that. Okay, it wasn't designed around that. Okay, it was totally designed from scratch, but it's got the very similar smells that the Element or freshly squeezed has got. So it's a really refreshing. It's definitely a summer juice. It's a really refreshing vape. Definitely a summer vape. Yeah, come give me some questions. What I'll do is that anybody who comments on this video after it goes live, as soon as I've got like 50 likes on this video, I'll do a random draw on this video, and somebody can get a 180ml bottle of what have I got in stock? I've got a limited edition 180ml Chelsea buns in stock. So after the video, just go and type a comment on the comment section, and then I'll do a random draw when we get to like 50 comments or 50 likes on the video, and then I'll give that away. So don't forget to like the video and tell your mates about it, and then we can give somebody a 180ml bottle of Chelsea bun. How's about that for a good one today? Come, give me some questions. A little bit of I don't know if you guys follow Facebook. I'm doing a punt because he's my son, so I'm definitely gonna punt him. I might not look at, okay, but you can see it in my beard. Running a vape shop is a seriously stressful job, and I used to game playing PS4 to relieve the stress and whatever. And then I got so bored of gaming, I thought I need to take up a hobby, and a hobby that works with my hands. I thought, as a lighty, I used to do leather, so let me just try this leather work. And I was like sat there the one day, and after like 3-4 hours later, I realized, oh shit, I'm still doing leather work, and I'm feeling super de-stressed. So I started doing this leather work as a hobby, and my son came along and he said, Dad, can I try? For those, my son's still in high school, he's in matric year. I said, come, let's do it, we can do it together. My God, it was the worst thing I ever did. I've unleashed a beast. It's a bit of selfish punting. So if you're a leather person, you must go and follow my son on Facebook, called OG Leather. He has a leather sleeve that he made for my billet box from scratch. You see some of the leather work that he's done. That's the one that he made for me for my Christmas present, for my billet box. Another one is this here, for my Hellfire. Man, it's the video. Wait, let me just get this so I can zoom in. Just hold on. Can see, shouldn't have used white stitching because it gets dirty, but this is what this lighty, and he's never had any formal training, and I've just always done it. I did it as a kid, as a hobby. I never did it, and my God, it's got to a point where he's even getting international guys following him. And he's been asked to quote on a couple of things for international guys. Like, I was blown away. So go follow him. It's OG Leather, OG being original gangster leather on Facebook. Got some amazing stuff. Maybe one day I'll get him on the show, and he can tell you how he does it and stuff like that. Mind blowing. Let's check some questions. Yeah, Regan, not a problem. The samples and all that will be the juice. I think is launching on the 26th. Semicolon is launching on the 26th of January, so it should be in all the shops by then. Yeah, Brandon, you never know, eh? I might do another RDA this year. You know, it keeps us busy, keeps us on our toes. You know, it's always good to have that. How's it, Shailesh? How are you? Hope I pronounced that right. A good single coil RDA to use on the Huasmic Luxotic BF box. What's new? What's new single coils? Oh, this is actually quite nice. It's the Firefly. Nice little single coil, really small, 22mm RDA. It's called the Firefly. Really nice. Also a single coil, mouth to lung or direct lung hit. That's a nice little one. The Serpent BF as well. It's also good. It's also good. Vico, I was trying to help him. We are busy trying to do a sleeve for the Lost Vape Paranormal. The problem with the Paranormal, which he was having problem with, so that's why I got involved, is the Paranormal, the bottom of the Paranormal is 5 millimeters wider overall than the top. So you've got to have it insert from the sleeve from the bottom, which is an issue from protecting the sleeve from the bottom. So you can't have it in sliding on the top like most sleeves would do. So like if you took the billet box sleeve, it slides in like that from the top, where the Paranormal, because it's got the wide bottom, you have to slide it in the bottom, otherwise it stuffs up all the leather down the side. So we have come up with a solution from that, and he says that by probably midweek next week he should be in full production, and he should have a good couple of them ready to go. So yeah, just follow him on OG Leather. What I'll do some lacquer marketing for my son. I'll just put a link to it here. That's the OG Leather group if you want to join it. It's my son, yeah, and he's started a little business up, and yeah, so if you want to go and look at it, go have a look at it. Musang, was my concern with that, but with the Element range, there's a hell of a lot of sweetener in Element range, especially that juice. And it's not so much the orange, it's the amount of sweetener that's killing those coils. Those coils there are 4 days, those cottons 4 days old. Okay, so you can see, and yes, 4 days old. I've just been so busy, haven't had time to reweek, but it's still, the flavor's still bomb. Thank you very much. The Lati is talented. I'm a proud dad, so I'm gonna boast every time I can. Just never in my wildest dreams that I think that he would take to it like he has and have the creative ability. The bonus that he does have is he's got a 3-dimensional brain, because EGD at school is one of his favorite subjects, and he gets 100% for it. You know, which has got to do with all shapes and whatever. So yeah, he's obviously, and obviously the fact is today's artisans are needed. So if you can work with your hands, it's a bonus. Stefan, I have not tried those juices. Have not tried them, sorry. Seem to have a very up and down firing on the, sometimes hold. Are you talking, that's Donovan, are you talking about the squonker? If you're talking about the squonker, there is a you need to clean that. It's actually very simple to clean that. If you phone me tomorrow, and I can send you, I can do a little quick video on how to clean it. It's actually very simple to clean it. You just have to undo 2 screws, but you need a little bit of technical ability to be able to open it and remove the button. But it's very easy to clean it and sort that problem out. Also, what happens is that it's actually a very clever trigger mechanism there. The way that the trigger mechanism works behind there, there's actually a copper plate that does this like snake bend, which gives you your spring, and over time that copper just compacts. So you actually, when you open it up and you've given it a little bit of a clean, you just give that copper a bit of a stretch to get it back to its original, and then you pop it in and it fires like a baby. Yeah, if you give me a shout tomorrow, my one's in the shop, so it's very easy for me to do a little hand video and send it to you, not a problem whatsoever. Just remind me tomorrow morning. So impressed with this little thing. It's really, 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 really good. So I'm gonna, if anybody's got some questions, let me give you another 5 or so minutes. and then don't forget to comment after the video, and then as soon as it gets a specific amount, let's call it 50 likes, I'll just do a randomizer, and somebody will get a 180 ml bottle of Chelsea, which is the Chelsea buns, which we launched at VapeCon. Really good juice. Just some, you're obviously aware that I do, I see someone's, Stefan, okay, there you are, I've approved you on the OG leather. From a legislation perspective, this year you're going to see a lot of press coming out with all the new information that's coming out around the world on vaping and stuff like that, and social media and whatever like that. If you aren't on the e-cigs SA forum, I suggest that you join it, because there is a VPA section where I post on a regular basis information regarding that. So you need to have a look at that. This year, the VPA, as far as I'm aware, are going to be doing a lot of road shows around the country in the different provinces to try and gather some more signatures and stuff like that. But it looks like they're slowly winning the fight. They're never going to win the war, but they're going to win the individual fights. So legislation's still coming, but it's not going to be as onerous as, for example, what's happening in currently in South Australia. You can just watch the Vaping Bogans videos. Yeah, there's some major problems happening there, and there's some more stuff happening in the US at the moment. I think the scenario is that this year the United Kingdom are the people that are going to be the front runners and show the rest of the world they need to pull their finger out their asses and stop listening to big tobacco. Sarbit, I'm sure I can find you screws, buddy. We don't have them separate, but I'm sure I can find a set for you somewhere. Just do me a favor, just message me tomorrow, because I will forget. Message me tomorrow and I can have a look for you. If you, yeah, that'll probably be the best way to do it. On the topic, mods not working, have you got to listen to this? No, Stefan, I don't have a solution for that. If I remember correctly though, I don't have one here. If I remember correctly, on that door where there's the two connections, there's a little copper plate that bridges the connections. If you put a little drop of solder on that to extend that plate, because that plate's bent up, if you extend that plate slightly, it actually does fix the problem. Best bet is maybe just send me some photographs on WhatsApp, not tonight because I'm not going to answer WhatsApp tonight, but tomorrow send me the photograph of the door and I'll tell you how to fix it. Yeah. Okay, Stefan, you should, yeah, okay. It's happy to, Brandon, you can put it on either side, buddy. You can put it on either side. Some of them say you must put it on the positive, some of them say you must put it on the negative. I've never had an issue with one of those things, to be honest. It's all better, Brandon, rather just buy yourself a bigger battery. You know, the bigger batteries have got bigger, longer milliamp hours. You know, these adapters, rather have the different size batteries. It's way better than having to, you know, you're also getting the bigger milliamp hours. Oh. I think everybody's going to love semicolon. Okay, guys, I'll give you 2 more minutes to give me some questions, and then I'm going to call it quits for tonight. I'm not going to have these shows super long unless I've got a guest on or something like that, which I have got some guys. I'm also got some guys who want to come onto the show, back on the show or onto the show for the first time, which I'm going to busy set up. So every Wednesday 8 o'clock, unless there is an event that I've got to attend, or like this next Wednesday where I'm in Cape Town, I can't do the show obviously. When will there be more stock of the S35? I have no idea. I'll have to speak to Hugo on that. When you phone me tomorrow, ask me the question again, then I can ask Hugo. That'll be the best bet. Anybody got any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to call it quits. Don't forget to like the video, put a comment in the video, share it if you want to share it. As soon as we get 50 thumbs up, or who's ever commented, I'll slap you into a random draw, and that person will win a 180ml bottle of 3mg Old Chelsea, which is the Chelsea bun. So yeah. Stephen, yeah, we will be at VapeCon. I was aware that it burnt down, but they have already started rebuilding it as far as I'm aware. Last year we decided to do it a little bit differently because obviously we do own a couple of companies, and we decided to go there from our distribution company, which is Steam Masters. This year we more than likely will have Steam Masters and Sir Vape there. I don't know how we're going to do it. I know I've heard rumour that they're going to be doing VapeCon differently this year. Whether or not it's true or not, I'm not going to allude to how they're doing it, because that's obviously not our place to do that, but we might have both there. I don't know, but we'll see. Any way of cleaning the shadow? Have used an ultrasonic, but some flavor still seems to be stuck in the tank. What I found is with that is when you've got flavor that's like a really one of those flavors, like just trying to think of one at the top of my head, that sticks in a tank, is a really highly concentrated solution of salt and water. That's what I've used, that and a little bit of lemon juice, and then you just let it sit in there for a couple of hours. That tends to neutralize any flavor in there. Unfortunately, you know, some flavors do hang in tanks. Can't get away from that. Thank you very much, Donovan. We tend to not do things the way the other guys do. We have these massive big stands and stuff like that, purely because coming up from Durban is a pain in the arse as it is. So we tend to do things a little bit differently, but thank you very much for your offer. Greatly appreciated. Okay guys, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to go spend some time with the family, which is rare these days. My daughter's off to Cape Town, so anybody who's watching who's in Cape Town, go look out for my daughter. She's going to be working at a coffee shop, or not a coffee shop, a restaurant in Greenpoint, called Jason's Bakery. She's, since as far back as I can remember as a kid, she wanted to go work at Jason's Bakery, so she's finally, her dreams come true. She's going to go do her internship there. So yeah, go pop in there, and you won't miss my daughter. She's tall like me, but yeah. And then if you want to go follow my son on that group, if you're looking for a leather sleeve, go for it. And then from week after next, all the new products fully unboxing. I've got another camera coming, so we can go an up and down view, and I can show you everything. So we're going to get back into full swing of these things. So share the news that I'm back in the scene, and we'll see you in 2 weeks time, guys. Enjoy your vaping. I know it's been tough. It's like more than a month that everybody's been paid. So yeah, yeah, thank you very much for supporting Sir Vape. We'll see you in 2 weeks time. Cheers guys.